So, quick video tonight. It's called The Truth About MS. I think I don't do enough of these videos, and I think it's important that I set the context of what I'm going to say over the next 5, 6, 7 minutes. My recovery and my life in terms of how I live with MS is well documented. The story's out there, it's went international, and my current health is quite good. Physically I look really fit and really well. I have intermittent daily MS symptoms, which at the moment are sort of focusing around sensory issues around my head. But I have experienced over the last 12 years an incredible recovery. I have met with lots of neurologists, doctors. I have taken drugs, MS drugs, for 9 years. Injecting for 9 years. I have spoken at conferences, medical conferences around the world. I have been paid to speak at medical conferences by pharmaceutical companies on a number of occasions. I have got a blog which has went international. I have appeared on numerous podcasts now around the world. So, and I'm living with MS for 12 years. So, I think I am now in a position where I would have a good understanding of the condition and well within my rights to share some of my experiences and resources and some of my ideas with people online. So that's the context. So over the last few days, there's been a couple of people have contacted me. Sometimes I refer MS to as a lifestyle disease, and what I really mean by that is that MS is a condition, in my experience and in many other people's experience, where if you want to experience a recovery, if you want to increase your chance of experiencing any kind of recovery, you immediately need to change your lifestyle. Okay, so for me, I sort of now refer to MS as a lifestyle disease. Some people call it an autoimmune disease. I also describe MS personally as I am someone who has problems in their central nervous system, right? And the bottom line with me is I don't really care what you call MS. It doesn't bother me. I'm certainly not offended if someone called it a lifestyle disease. I don't care if people call it an autoimmune disease. Who cares? It's a condition, it's a problem that people have. What we know is we don't know why it happens. We don't know why our central nervous system attacks our own bodies. We don't know any of this. So I think people who are talking about MS and try to come across, me included, as some kind of absolute authority on the condition sometimes need to take a stand back, because one of the things most people agree about MS is that it's hugely complex, and we don't know a lot about the condition. We know quite a bit about the condition, but we don't know everything about the condition. It's that complicated. So how I sort of deal with that personally is that all I really do is share information, share experiences, share resources, and share some of my ideas. I don't tell people what to do. I don't say to people, if you do this, you will experience that. I don't ever share with people an idea that if you copy what I do, then you will experience my level of recovery and healing. So it's not what I'm about, and I think it's dangerous if people go down that path. Well, there's a few myths in MS that I'd like to get out there. The first thing is that you can't experience any kind of healing or recovery. The bottom line is that your body can heal and your body can repair. Okay, that has happened to me, and that has happened to a lot of people. And by the way, some people refer that to relapsing remitting MS, right? Technically, I'm not going to get into it, but the bottom line is, if you have an exacerbation or an episode where your body attacks itself, your body can repair and heal and recover. Okay, that is a fact. The second myth about MS that I would like to get out there and expose is that MS medication is the be all and end all, right? Because MS medication, disease modifying therapy, does one thing. It is designed to manage the condition, not induce health. Okay, so disease modifying therapies are designed to prevent relapses, and there is some science out there to suggest and prove that these therapies, these drugs, can prevent relapses up to 30%, and that's great news. However, there are still a lot of questions around the drugs. There are conflicts of interest around the people who are reporting how effective they are, and if you watch Matt Embry's film, The Living Proof, and I would advise all MS patients to watch The Living Proof, there's a neurologist on that program, look him up, Dr. George Ebers, who is not so confident that the drugs are effective. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. I would invite you to watch the film, and what I would like you to do is I would like you to do your own research around the drugs. For me personally, I was on drugs for 9 years, and I had lots of side effects from the drugs, because whenever you take any drug, there are associated side effects. I don't know if the drugs stopped my relapses or not. I can never prove that. What I do know is that I stopped taking drugs 3 years ago, this April 2019, 3 years ago, and I went on a whole food, plant-based diet. I changed my lifestyle. I started and continued to exercise. I sort of took a step back. I started to do whatever I could from a lifestyle perspective, in terms of how I interact with people, how I move, what I eat, how I sleep, all of those things, which is really our lifestyle. And 3 years ago, this April, I have found that my health has improved significantly. I have more great days, I have some outstanding days, and I have less really bad days. And for me, I used to describe how I was feeling as having a really crap day, or a really good day, or an okay day. And over the last 3 years, I am having a lot of really good days. So for me personally, it's easy for me to quantify this, but my health has certainly improved. I am not trying to say that if you copy me or follow me, or I'm not suggesting that you come off drugs. What I am suggesting is that you listen to what I'm saying and you do your own research. So that's just something that I wanted to share with you in relation to the drugs. So I think ultimately, patients care. If you want to recover in any way from MS, personally, I think it's up to you. It's the patient who needs to take ultimate responsibility for their own health. Okay? The challenge within the MS community right now is that our charity organisations and our neurologists, our medical, conventional people, are all pushing the drugs, and the conversation has no balance. Because I personally believe, through my own research, through the context that I set out at the beginning of this conversation, that the lifestyle approach to managing MS, which Dr. George Jelinek is highly complimentary of and promotes it through his Overcoming MS program, is every bit as important as drug therapy. And what I am suggesting to people is that the conversation around recovery for MS patients needs to become more balanced, and needs to include the both. The conventional approach around the drugs alongside the unconventional approach around the lifestyle approach. And the problem at the minute is that we don't have that, because our neurologists are conventionally trained, and for the most part they're not overly interested in nutrition and lifestyle, and that's the problem. And of course us patients are caught up in all of this, and the real scandal is that there's no real money in telling people to eat broccoli and vegetables and to exercise more. And unfortunately, the MS discussion, like cancer, like a lot of illnesses, is dominated by big pharmaceutical companies and is dominated by money and return on investment. And patients like me and you are caught in the middle. However, that's not a good enough reason for you to cop out. So my advice to you is to take back control of your illness, of the discussion, of your recovery plan, and do all the research that you can do. This is the best time to be sick because we have so much information available online. Work it out yourselves, get online, check out all the resources available. There's lots of books, there's lots of documentaries, there's lots of good people online, there's lots of good people experiencing good recoveries, there's lots of plans out there. Look at the work of Dr. Roy Swank, look at the Overcoming MS program, figure it all out yourself. And once you've done the hard yards, you won't need people like me or others pointing you in a particular direction, because you'll be able to find the right way yourself. I hope you found this interesting. I would like some feedback. If you want to connect with me, you can get me on Twitter, Connor_Devine. You can get me on Instagram, and you can get me on Facebook. And you can get me on my YouTube channel as well. My website is www.connordevine.com. Thank you.